Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. London School of Economics, LSE, honours the memory of St. Lucia's Sir Arthur Lewis. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Monday, 27th March 2023. Details when we return.
Hubbard's Multi-Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Welcome back. The London School of Economics has renamed one of its buildings in honour of the late Nobel laureate Sir Arthur Lewis. Solange Alfred of HTS News Force has more.
The legacy of Sir Arthur Lewis endures, with the London School of Economics renaming one of its buildings in honour of the Nobel Prize-winning economist. Sir Arthur was the first black academic who studied, taught, and conducted research at the prestigious university. A ceremony marking the renaming of the structure was attended by Sir Arthur Lewis's family, including his daughter and granddaughter, on Thursday, March 23, 2023. Back home in St. Lucia, the pride of a nation eternally grateful to have been privileged to birth one of the greatest minds of the 20th century continues to be lauded.
This is tremendous. It's again saying that, you see, this small country of ours, we are world class, world class. We produce people who are world class people. And it just says something about our capacity. I mean, there's so many places like at Princeton University, there's a hall named after Sir Arthur Lewis. In the University of West Indies, Manchester, so all over we have people who are recognizing the tremendous contribution that he has made to development economics. And so we're very proud about it.
For the founder of the Folk Research Center, Monsignor Dr. Patrick Anthony, it's a welcomed positive development amid news regarding crime and violence by a few malcontents and the malaise of a quotidian existence, a true illustration of the exemplary excellence by the best from St. Lucia.
For me, for St. Lucia today, it just affirms the potential that our young people have. You see, so by the time we face all these problems of crime and so forth, so those should be stepping stones for us to our potential. Don't let our weaknesses keep us back. We are world-class people. We are people who can globally can transform through our thinking, through our thought, through our artistic production, through our athletic abilities, like Julian Alfred. We are world-class. So we just said, St. Lucian, let this be another example to really motivate us to be proud to be St. Lucian and to recognize that we can achieve anything we want.
Sir Arthur's economic theories of development economics are the very foundation upon which nations like Singapore were transformed from emerging economies to industrial giants. His indelible mark in the field of development economics is testament to the more than latent talent and brilliance in every St. Lucian waiting to be unleashed.
We are the Lucians, people of the light, and so we shine. So for me, it's another symbol of, man, we'll keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going.
In 1979, Lewis was awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics for pioneering research into economic development research with particular consideration of the problems of developing countries. LSE President and Vice Chancellor Minosh Shafiq said, quote, "We are delighted to rename one of our buildings after him in recognition of his exemplary career and enduring legacy both at LSE and beyond." End quote. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
In other news, the High Command of the Regional Security System, the RSS, says an increase in gun violence in St. Lucia and other member territories is having an alarming effect on the societies. Speaking at the 40th RSS Council of Ministers meeting in Grenada, the head of the institution urged regional governments to take a whole society approach to crime fighting. His recommendation comes as Grenada recorded a shocking execution-style killing. The regional security system was created in 1982 to counter threats to the stability of the region in the late 70s and early 1980s. Lisa Joseph of the DBS News World reports.
The executive director of the RSS, Commodore Eriton Sherland, is concerned about the high level of crime in the region, particularly gun-related crime and the resulting impact of loss of life, injuries and psychological trauma on the societies. To tackle the problem, Commodore Sherland is suggesting the application of hard and soft responses through a whole-of-society approach.
Soft, through constant positive messaging to our young people, with the aid of social development programs that consistently targets troubled youth, and programs that addresses issues related to recidivism. The hard responses require the commitment to put in place the necessary infrastructure to secure our borders and prevent the guns from entering our space, as well as to treat the issues of corruption. I say corruption because I believe the only way that these guns can get into our countries is through our borders and through individuals who facilitate such actions.
Prime Minister of Grenada and Chairman of the RSS Council of Ministers, Dickon Mitchell, said the easy access to firearms is one of the greatest threats the region currently faces. He stated that various criminal activities coming from the use of illegal firearms have far-reaching and negative impact on people and the society. He pointed to recent events in St. Lucia and in Grenada, which he said highlights the challenge the region faces in terms of gun violence. Grenada, he told the Council of Ministers meeting, is coming to terms with a violent killing that occurred only Tuesday night.
Grenada suffered a gun-related homicide with at least 6 shots being fired, resulting in a fatality. Preliminary indications may suggest that this was an execution-style hit and that the perpetrator may not have been originally from Grenada. So I'm highlighting the challenge that we face regionally, that the gun-related criminal activity, while we are sitting in a meeting, the criminals are also sitting and oftentimes taking a regional approach to their criminal activity.
The EU's ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean pledged the EU's support to the region in combating the rising levels of criminality. The ambassador noted that the 40th Council of Ministers meeting comes at a critical juncture when the stability of the region is being threatened by crime.
Recent events in St. Lucia remind us of the societal consequences of the illegal circulation of firearms and the sobering reality that these weapons have been, for the most part, smuggled into the Eastern Caribbean. The increasing trafficking of firearms, as well as gold, timber, and waste, represent emerging threats confronting authorities on both sides of the Atlantic. Such illegal trades add to the long-standing issue of drug smuggling, making the work of law enforcement authorities more complex than ever.
Observing that threats have become more complex and multidimensional, the U.S. ambassador to Barbados and the OECS assured continued assistance by the U.S. government through the Caribbean Basin Initiative.
Technical assistance and equipment to improve maritime interdiction capabilities, including interceptor boats and logistics and maintenance support. Second, we provide advisory support to financial investigation units across the region that work diligently to deny criminals the proceeds of their offenses. Third, we support programs to modernize the criminal justice sector. And finally, we continue to invest in expanding digital forensic capabilities in the region.
Commodore Eriton Sherland says the RSS will be heightening assistance to member states in diagnosing crime and security problems through the Regional Crime Observatory. For the DBS News World, Lisa Joseph reporting.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. U.S. Ambassador to Barbados and the OECS, Linda Tagliatella, reaffirmed the commitment of the United States government to the continued development of the Regional Security System, the RSS, when the RSS Council of Ministers met on 22nd March in Grenada. SKN Newsline's Glenn Bart filed this report.
The meeting was attended by St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, who is also the Minister of National Security. Recognizing the complexity of threats facing the region, from natural hazards, climate change to narcotics and human trafficking and the illegal trade in firearms, Tagliatella said the United States will continue to collaborate with the RSS in fighting transnational crime.
Eastern Caribbean countries created the RSS out of a need for a collective response to security threats. Over the years, these threats have become only more complex and multidimensional. From cyber threats to climate change to illicit trafficking and money laundering, the institution continues to grow and adapt so that it can better equip its member states to confront these challenges. As it does so, the United States will continue to stand by the RSS and invest in this partnership that we have developed over time. In particular, the RSS has a unique perspective on the threats that the Eastern Caribbean faces from transnational organized crime. To meet its core goal of providing immediate and threat-appropriate responses to all situations, the RSS must be forward-thinking and adaptable. Under the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative, or CBSI, the United States continues to collaborate with the RSS on efforts to tackle the transnational criminal threat. Some examples of how countries benefit directly from the CBSI programs, both through the RSS and bilateral, include, first, technical assistance and equipment to improve maritime interdiction capabilities, including interceptor boats and logistics and maintenance support. Second, we provide advisory support to financial investigation units across the region that work diligently to deny criminals the proceeds of their offenses. Third, we support programs to modernize the criminal justice sector. And finally, we continue to invest in expanding digital forensic capabilities in the region.
As close partners of the RSS, representatives of the United States, the European Union, and the Caribbean Development Bank participated in the RSS Council of Ministers meeting that was also attended by St. Kitts and Nevis' Prime Minister. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
Over in Jamaica, Andrew Holness names Constitution Reform Committee members. Jamaica is closer to becoming a republic. Kalisha Williams of TVJ News filed this report.
The Constitutional Reform Committee, CRC, will be chaired by Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahoo Fort. Ambassador Rocky Mead will be her co-chair. Among the other members,
Dr. Derek McCoy, CD, JP, KC, Attorney General of Jamaica, Senator the Honorable Tom Tavares Finson, OJ, CD, KC.
Two members of the parliamentary opposition are also part of the committee, as well as representatives of a faith-based group, civil society, and a youth advisor.
Senator Ransford Braham, CD, KC, government senator. Senator Braham apologized. Senator Donna Scott Motley, parliamentary opposition, member of the Senate. Mr. Anthony Hilton, MP, parliamentary opposition, House of Representatives. We have an international constitutional law expert who is on the committee, Professor Richard Albert.
There has been heightened controversy over Jamaica becoming a republic since Barbados did so in 2021 and the royal visit of Prince William and his wife Kate Middleton to Jamaica in 2022. Now, Mr. Holness indicated that the Constitutional Reform Committee is another step in the right direction.
Their job is significant, and I thank all of them for giving of their time and effort, knowledge and guidance to the process. I am confident that we will be able to meet the ambitious timelines that have been set and that we will make one step further in redefining who we are as a country and as a sovereign people.
However, the work of the CRC will have to be complemented by a referendum. As for when that will happen,
the Constitution at Section 49 sets out the procedure and what will happen after the vote is taken in the last house. We're hoping that we can get to that stage by fiscal year 23-24, perhaps around about the second quarter. But bear in mind that we can't predict everything. We're just working as best as we can with the timelines that we know.
The committee will formally meet next Wednesday. Kelisha Williams, TVJ News.
Hubbards is once again innovating the way you shop with its new online store, providing 24-hour shopping convenience. You can shop now for appliances, hardware, houseware, building material, and more. Free delivery island-wide. Start shopping now at HubbardsHardware.gd. Safe, convenient, reliable.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.